Good morning to you. I'm Danilo Evangelista, and welcome to our morning update on Tropical Storm Beryl. It is gaining more organization this morning. Recon is in there, and we're going to go over all the latest information on Beryl and how it could potentially quickly intensify from now into a hurricane as it approaches the Texas coast tonight and into tomorrow morning. So let's get started. Starting off with the latest information from the National Hurricane Center as of 8 a.m. Eastern Time, or in Central Time in Texas right now, 7 a.m. Maximum sustained winds are right now still at 60 miles per hour, so the winds are not increasing yet, but the pressure is deepening. It is at 992 millibars right now. It is down a little bit from this morning when it was at 995 millibars. Once again, Recon was in there this morning, and they are finding that Beryl is slowly deepening, and the intensification process is right now happening gradually. If you're tracking it, it is located at 25.5 north, 94.9 west, and it is moving northwest at 12 miles per hour. So let's take a satellite look of Beryl right now. And you can see it is definitely a lot more organized this morning. Convection is definitely blowing up in its center, especially compared to earlier this morning and last night when it lost a lot of its deep convection. Atmospherically, things are a lot more favorable this morning than they were last night. As I said, that Beryl is going to interact with the jet stream from a trough that is just to the north of it. And as I said, these jet stream interactions, especially with storms in the Gulf of Mexico, they really sometimes give the storms juice and make things a lot more favorable in the atmosphere. And that's why Beryl could potentially ramp up really quickly, even if it's only 24 hours or so away from the coast of Texas. It is still likely to ramp up and become a hurricane. And the National Hurricane Center shows that. But I just really quickly want to show you that it is indeed organizing. And Dr. Levi Cowan this morning actually posted on Twitter about it. Dr. Levi Cowan, by the way, the guy that owns basically everything of what I show you in terms of modeling and satellite images like this, tropicaltidbits.com. He's the man behind it. And he talked about this morning, Beryl is gradually organizing. In fact, he actually posted a radar picture because Beryl is actually close enough now that its impacts are starting to be felt closer to the coast. You could actually see on the satellite really quickly a band coming in. And these are going to be one of the effects that we'll see from Beryl, including the rainfall. It's not just going to be the hurricane/tropical storm force winds that we're going to see near its center. We're probably also going to see rainfall as well, lots of rainfall that we will see. And it's going to be widespread. Look, this band stretches all the way into portions of Louisiana, too, that are probably going to get heavy rain and gusty winds from this band as well. It's the outer band, but it's already beginning to reach the coast, especially in Texas. And you can see on radar, it's going to bring gusty winds. There's lightning within these bands. It's going to be strong storms. They're going to be very quick, but they are feeder bands, and they will bring strong storms. And there will also probably be, I think, a risk for tornadoes from these bands as well. It's not just about the tropical storm or hurricane force winds from the center too. And later today, we'll go over those impacts when it comes to not just where it's going to make landfall and who's going to get the hurricane force winds, but also the other impacts as well in terms of rainfall and storm surge. But we'll go over that at a later time, probably in another video update later today. But you can see on radar, it is close enough to the coast now that we could actually see what it's looking like on radar rather than waiting for recon to get inside the storm. And it is definitely not organized fully in terms of its inner core yet. But as Levi Cowan says, central convection is beginning to wrap further around Beryl Center, and the inner core is building. You could definitely see that on radar. It is slowly beginning to gain more structural organization, and it is likely to steadily intensify as it approaches the Texas coast tonight into tomorrow. And that's what the National Hurricane Center shows. This is its latest cone as of 5 a.m. You could see they have a hurricane as it is approaching Texas early tomorrow morning. And there are hurricane warnings in effect for the central Texas coast right now. And there's actually more warnings besides that stretch the entire length of the coastline of Texas, even into Louisiana, and also stretching as far south as northern Mexico too. So the impacts from this storm will be definitely widespread and long lasting. Long lasting in terms of rainfall. But there will be widespread, and it will affect many people rather than just the people that are going to get the hurricane force winds right at the coast. And that is definitely something to keep in mind with this storm. But in terms of it rapidly intensifying, even if it's only at 60 miles per hour right now, trust me, it'll change pretty quickly. And especially as we head towards this afternoon, as it interacts with the jet, as I mentioned before, that's definitely going to help give this storm kind of extra juice, and it'll really quickly intensify as it approaches the Texas coast tonight. Trust me, when it comes to these jet stream interaction storms, they really ramp up quickly, and sometimes they catch lots of people by surprise. And it's already making things a lot more favorable in the northern Gulf. This is the current wind shear map. And you can see right where Beryl is, lots of greens overhead it, meaning go for upper level favorability in terms of wind shear. Low wind shear is over Beryl right now, and that's only going to help aid it in terms of intensification, basically right up until the coast. And you can see those wind shear values remain low right up until the coast of Texas. And not only that, it also has very, very warm sea surface temperatures out ahead of it too. This map by the NOAA sea surface temperature graph of the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf as a whole is very toasty, but especially by the coast is where we actually have our peak sea surface temperature values. Even where Beryl is right now, which is I think it's roughly in here, it has solid 29 degrees Celsius sea surface temperatures to work with. And it's only going to get warmer as it heads towards the coast. And warm water definitely is a very good feeder for storms, especially if they're going to intensify right up to the coast. And we've seen instances like this, honestly, way too many times where sea surface temperatures are warm right up to the coast, with a storm tracking in its way, and it has a very favorable upper level pattern, and the storms just really quickly intensify. And that's just how they work. It's probably going to have not enough time to really intensify too much, but it will be a strengthening hurricane on approach to the Texas coast tomorrow. And that's, I think, is the most important part to remember from Beryl right now. And you can see even on the GFS, we'll go through some other models too, but all of the models are picking up on this, that Beryl will probably ramp up pretty quickly as it heads to the Texas coast tonight. And it's a disclaimer that I want to point out is that the GFS too is a global model, and sometimes these global models don't have that great of a handle on intensity, but it's really interesting what the GFS shows, and I'll show you right now. Here's the 6E run. We have it right now, 999 millibars, at least initialized as of this morning. We obviously know it's a little stronger than that, but even then, notice as we go towards the next several hours, some intensification obviously with Beryl occurs. It intensifies steadily. This is this afternoon, Sunday, 995 millibars. 18 hours out, 990 millibars. So we continue the steady intensification pace, but then right as we get towards the coast, 24 hours, then 30 hours right at the coast, just inland of the coast actually, 984 millibars. So that's lower 980s. That's probably already a decent hurricane, already moving inland to Texas, and this is tomorrow morning. So we go from now, which is a moderate tropical storm, to probably tomorrow morning as it approaches the Texas coast. It's going to be an intensifying hurricane right as it moves inland, and it's very interesting that the GFS is definitely picking up on it. We go from 999 millibars where we are right now to 984 tomorrow morning, and that is definitely a very big decrease in terms of pressure, and it just pinpoints, it just goes to show the nature of what the environment will be as it is approaching Texas. But I do want to show a model that actually is very, a lot more focused into intensity of the storm and can actually pick up these rapid intensification instances with the jet stream a lot better. And that's the H-Wharf model, and it's actually done pretty well with Beryl so far. So let's see what it has as of this morning. So I guess as of 15Z, which is the time we're a lot closer to, 990 millibars. Moderate tropical storm. Let's see what it does over the next several hours. You can see already it very quickly intensifies. This is already later tonight. This is already, I think, 11 o'clock tonight Eastern time, already at 980 millibars approaching Texas, and this still has a few hours left. So what does the H-Wharf do? Right as it's approaching the coast, 969, it says 968.9 on top of here, so I guess 968 millibars the H-Wharf has. And in terms of winds too, that's basically stretching, or basically reaching, I should say, category 2 intensity. So it goes from a moderate tropical storm to within less than 24 hours as it's approaching the Texas coast. H-Wharf has 969 millibars, and this storm is knocking the door on category 2 intensity, at least in terms of the winds. That is definitely a sign of rapid intensification as it approaches the coast, and that is definitely going to catch lots of people off by surprise. So my advice to you is to watch the progress of Beryl, watch how much it's able to organize throughout the day today, because it's really going to come down to how quickly it intensifies tonight, which will end up with what we have as it's basically making landfall overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning on the Texas coast. And this is also going to be a really overnight. It's probably still going to be dark out when Beryl is making landfall, and that's also not really a good, kind of adds an extra layer, I should say, in terms of intensification. And we'll go over all the impacts besides the winds, but that is just something to keep in mind when it comes to intensification. So if you're in a hurricane warned area, you should definitely prepare now. In fact, you should be preparing, or you should have already started your preparations. And if you're told to evacuate, definitely evacuate. Don't take anything lightly with this storm. There's still a little bit of time left, and there's also obviously meaning a little bit of time left for this storm to quickly ramp up, and that is certainly something we're going to be watching progress as the day goes on today. So because of that, this is not the only video update, once again, that I'm going to do today. I'm going to do another video update on impacts and what to expect with Beryl in terms of rainfall and storm surge, the other hazards that come with a tropical cyclone making landfall. And we're going to go over that probably at a later time today. So if you're new to my channel and if you want to get the notification for that, I really would recommend, if you like my video, comment with your thoughts, comment your concerns, I'll answer them, and subscribe, and especially turn the notification bell on so you can get when I upload my video instantly. With that being said, thanks for watching, stay safe, peace, love, and kindness to you all, and we will talk again very soon.